Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. It's Saturday, 6th January 2024. We're continuing today with colouring in the shapes of a Nautilus shell. It is a beautiful, beautiful shell, and I'm pleased to say that this is turning out really, really well. I'm never quite sure where to put my little microphone so that it gets all my words, because I've had a look at a few of them and the sound isn't coming through very clearly. So I'll try and speak a bit more clearly instead of mumbling to myself. I do apologize for that. But so here's the Nautilus shell. If you had a shell and you split it in half, you'd get these divisions within the cell. Such a beautiful shell. It's given me a great deal of pleasure to figure out these patterns. Thanks to my new subscribers and to all the lovely comments that I've been receiving. Very heartening to know that you're enjoying this. So thank you so much. I've been racking my brains to figure out what to do with this area, and there's a couple of areas there as well. But let's continue to figure out where we go from here. I'm trying to figure out these, and I'm trying to figure out a way that your eye will be drawn in a certain direction. So let's take it. Let's do this, and let's see what happens. So for those who are joining for the first time, this is my current pattern. Just working in black and white. This isn't a white sheet, it's slightly off-white. But let's see where this pattern takes us. I'll first do all the hard edges that I've done in quite a few of my videos here. If you need a little closer look, I'll just stand up and do a bit of that, if that helps you. One of the people who subscribed suggested I use my zoom. So I used it on 5 and 6. I think I went too close. You can see every little pen mark, but we'll see how this goes. All I'm doing is taking these sharp points and rounding them out. Let's see how that works out. And simply fill in these blank spaces here with your pen. Try not to be in a hurry, but if you do make a mess, you can always fix it. Every artist in the world makes a bit of a mess and then they just fix it up. Don't beat yourself up about it, really. All it is a picture that you're drawing. So that looks quite nice, and it sort of brings the eye this way, which is what I'm trying to achieve. I haven't done one of these before, so the end result is a surprise to me and to you. And I think I might repeat that design here. I'll just see that I've got it in the right place there. Yes. So to the middle point and do that. And then you're also going over these lines just to make them a bit more bold. If you happen to make a mistake, just fix it up. It's no problem at all. Why I got into this is just to relax, slow my mind. My mind's such a hurry all of the time. Rush to do this, rush to do that. Go here, go there. This way I have to stop. I have to go slowly because if you go fast, you tend to make a mistake. These lines are not perfect, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in the least. So nice that looks. And then you're going to soften the edges of these. And fill in that space there. Oops. If you rush, that can happen. But at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. It's just a way to slow your mind down and relax. Going to stand up to see if I'm in camera, which I am, thank you. If you rush, this is what happens when you rush. Make the line a bit thick. But seeing I've made some thick, I'll make others thick and then it'll all blend in. The only reason they went thick is because I was rushing. But the way I'm fixing it up is that I'm doing thick lines on others and it looks as if it was all meant to be in the first place. So as I say, everything's very easy to fix up. Beautiful, isn't it? This shell is turning out really well. I'm so glad I thought of it. What you think of at night when you're trying to sleep and you think, oh, can I do next? That's the problem. What do I do next? What do I do after this beauty? I really don't know. I'll have to think really hard. It'll have to be something, obviously, that gives us all a lot of pleasure to do. I mean, this was very pleasing to do. These shapes are just beautiful. Don't rush. That there. I'm going to check my front door because I'm so sure that I heard somebody at the door. Not somebody, I heard a noise. So I'll go and check that in a second as soon as I up here. And then fill in all the white areas that you've left behind. You can probably see because you're on the big screen there, all these white areas. They don't detract, so you don't have to worry about it. That's those two. Just let me check my door. It's just rattling around there. I know the wind is blowing chronically, so just a sec. I'll leave it like that so you can enjoy. I'm back, nobody there, just the wind. Out again. Isn't that turning out beautiful? I'm trying to decide now what I'm going to do here. There's a drop of water here, which has ruined that. It doesn't really matter. It's not a commission or anything like that. This is all for me. And I'm enjoying it thoroughly, and I hope you are too. Anybody joining for the first time, just grab a pen and a paper I don't rush along and colour in the same time as I do, and just enjoy. And don't rush. I keep saying don't rush, but it's so relevant, because the purpose of this is to slow your mind and relax. And if you rush, inevitably mistakes happen. Not that they can't be fixed up, they can be. Now I'm trying to decide, where's my pencil? Trying to decide on this area here.
PM.
That was my watch telling me the time, and I don't know why. 2:59 p.m. As much as I keep saying that you want your eye to move in this direction, you also don't ever in your work want your eye to go off the page. So whatever happens here, your eye has got to reach around. So whenever you're doing something, you don't want a line that just goes off the edge of the page and goes off the page. You want to keep the audience focus here, not off the page. So, as much as I keep saying we've got to go down, 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 you've also got to go up, 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 so your eye goes round and round and round and round and round in circles. So because I'm so undecided as to what to do here, I'm going to do this. And you're going to think, oh my God, she's brave. It's not brave. Because whatever I do is fixable if it's wrong. What I'm going to do is this. You see, that could have been a nicer line, but never mind. this. I'm going to colour these in, not colour them in, that's the wrong word. Fill them in, and then we'll see how they turn out. So I'm using a number 3. Normally when I do this type of thing, it's the background that's filled in, not the foreground. This would be the foreground, but I usually would fill in the background, as you do with most of these things. The background's filled in. But in this case, I'm filling in the foreground. So once they're filled in, and I know some of these are pointy and some of these are rounded, doesn't matter. It's done deliberately. You must do what you feel. Wherever your pen takes you, that's what you do. If you don't feel like doing this, you feel like doing something else. Just always try and be in control of your own life, because it's quite liberating, control of your own life. If you want to do something, do it. If you don't want to do something, then don't do it. I've been watching a show called The Gilded Age. I really enjoy it. It's very the beginning of the century, where people were very, very frightfully rich and very class conscious. You know, where the workers were the workers and the rich were the rich, and never the twain shall meet. But this takes place in America, and it's really very fascinating. The clothing is just, my God, amazing, absolutely amazing. So The Gilded Age. If you want to watch a series that I'm currently watching, that's what one of them, waiting for the next episode. The only problem with watching a series, you've got to keep waiting for the next one. It's the same as the Fargo series. I have dying for the next episode. What a show. What an imagination. I mean, for goodness sake. How the hell they think of things. Things people do to each other, and my goodness. But I thoroughly enjoyed Fargo and The Gilded Age. I may try and zoom in for you. There you go. One of the subscribers suggested I try zoom in, so that's completely new for me, and I'm quite enjoying it actually. I think I zoomed in a bit too much yesterday, and so you could see every, you know, when you zoom into a typed letter, you've got all these edges. That's what happened with my zooming in. Yes, I zoomed in so close. It just looked a mess, but it's not a mess. So this just shows you that this is going to take a long time. Sorry for the shaking, but every time I stand up, I knock the table with my knee. I'm sorry about that. so that you can see what I'm doing. And all I am is filling in these leaves, seaweed. I talked yesterday, as anybody didn't watch that, was I saw a show called My Octopus Teacher. It's a guy in Cape Town who was diving close to where he was staying and made contact with an octopus. And it's the sweetest thing that you can imagine watching. It's just absolutely beautiful. And he goes diving every day to make contact with this octopus. And it is just something to behold. When I say diving every day, it's diving in Cape Town, and I don't know if anybody knows, if you're near Cape Town or if you've been there, the water is cold, very, very cold. It's the cold that when you put your foot in, it's painful because it's so cold. And yet this guy goes diving every day. It's a close-up of his arm in one shot. And you can see the goosebumps on his arm. And I thought, my God, so brave. But he does this because he's made contact with a wild octopus. It's just beautiful. So I think it's called My Octopus Teacher. It's just amazing show. So if you want to be completely astounded, have a go at watching that. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I hope you're enjoying watching these videos and just relaxing and doing your own. Pardon me, it's a very enjoyable pastime. Another temptation that you may face is wanting to grab a thicker pen. Obviously, you're allowed to do what you want because you're doing what you want. But stick with the thinner pen. A couple of reasons. Because there's no hurry in this. If you do this from the beginning, takes many, many, many hours to complete. You can't really be in a hurry because the hours are ahead of you. But there's no hurry. Do an hour, maybe 2 hours. I know when I finish doing this and ready to upload, I could just continue. And I did one day. I was uploading a video and then I put my iPad, balanced my iPad on this stand here and recorded while the phone was preoccupied uploading the video. I thought, don't become too obsessive. So when it warns me that the battery is running flat on my phone, I'll give it a break. And I'll try and keep this video under an hour and start again immediately. Just because it takes too long to upload. Sorry, I keep wanting to use download as a word, but it's upload. I keep wanting to use that word. Yeah, so yesterday I had an hour and 20 minutes before I looked. I just got carried away and in the moment, you know, doing this and relaxing. And then I looked at the timing on the video and it was an hour 29 or hour 20 or whatever it was. But oh no. So I stopped it and started again. And by that time, the battery of the phone was going flat. So it was a long one and a short one yesterday. But I didn't want to stop. I did stop. I didn't want to stop. I wanted to continue. And that's the problem, because I can just carry on and on and on and on and on. I'm still on the screen now. Yes, I am. That's good. I hope my voice is coming through a little bit clearer. I've got the microphone right there. My daughter came round for a coffee this morning. She brought her little 3-year-old with her, Shawnee. It's a gorgeous boy. He wanted to watch Scary Toilet on TV, so we had to tell him that Scary Toilet wasn't working. So Kim was trying to limit the time he watches this Scary Toilet. So I don't know if any of you watched it. It's complete and utter garbage. And yet, millions of people, millions, I say, are obsessed with it. And if you have a look at Scary Toilet, just do a search on YouTube for it. I don't think you'll see anything that's more garbage than that. And violent. Some parts are particularly violent. But as a 3-year-old, he's obsessed with it. And when I mentioned to his brother, who's 12, about how Shawnee's obsessed with Scary Toilet, he says not only Shawnee, his whole school, all the students there are completely obsessed with this show. Just goes to show it's people making millions of dollars and it's absolute garbage. I want to use another word, but I'm scared someone will report me and then stuff up my plans of continuing this, so I won't say it. But God, it's rubbish. The size I'm using is a 3. The set goes up to 30, and then there's a brush. So I'm on this one over here, 3. And I like these pens, I really, really like them. So many to choose from. But for my purposes, I like these. I did return one, what do you call this, packet of pens to Amazon because they were quite dry. You don't want to buy something that's already dry because this is going to last a while. So I returned it, and the lucky thing is with Amazon, you can just return things. There's no trouble at all. On the time, 40 minutes, that's good. Oh, it's off screen, sorry about that. Ah, the eye going there and up again. That's what you want the viewer, whoever is looking at whatever you do. You don't want their eye to leave the page. So I need the viewer to look that way, but also to go back to the focal point, which is here. Then you have to decide, because all of a sudden you haven't got any little compartments that you can put different patterns in. Suddenly you've got a big open area, and it's a lot more difficult. I could while I'm deciding, no, I'm not going to, nope, cancel that, I'll have to decide what to do with the rest of it. But doesn't it look beautiful? I'm very happy. A few more little lines like that. This is just seaweed under the sea, so you've got lots of little things floating around. Isn't that beautiful, guys? I'll go down a little bit so that you can see. There you go. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Now we're at 48 minutes. So decision time. Decision time. What I might do is I might close this video. While it's at 48 minutes, and carry on thinking, so I'll waste your time as well. Because of how I do this, I've no preconceived idea or plan of the patterns that I'm going to use. I do the pattern that I feel like doing at that moment. And that's the best way to do art. I feel like doing at that moment. So that's why I'm always thinking in between and doing this. I notice I do that quite a lot. I don't mean to, but just can't decide. And when you can't decide, you have to think about it. I might close this video now and I'll just continue thinking. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your subscribing and your comments, and I do take heed of your comments. I really do, as you'll see by me actually zooming in on my work, which I've never done before. But I do take advice and suggestions, but this has turned out beautiful. Thank you for watching, and have a great, great day. Bye for now.